The sun was blazing over the dusty town of Red Rock when Cole Walker, a rugged cowboy known for his skill with horses and sharp instincts, rode into the small corral outside the Hartley estate. He had heard the rumors. Old man Hartley was a wealthy, controlling rancher, protective of his land and reputation, and notoriously difficult to deal with. But when Hartley approached him that morning with an offer that sounded more like a threat than a proposal, Cole froze. Cole Walker had ridden into Red Rock many times, but today felt different. The dusty road seemed narrower, the sun hotter, and the whispers of townsfolk more pointed than usual. He tugged his hat lower against the glare and guided his horse past the creaking corral gates of the Hartley estate. He had heard the rumors. The old rancher, Mr. Hartley, was a man who demanded obedience, a man who valued wealth, control, and his family's reputation above all else. And now, Cole was about to confront that reputation head-on. Hartley stood near the porch, his broad frame stiff, eyes piercing like hawks scanning the land. Without preamble, he delivered the ultimatum. "Marry my daughter, or leave," he said, voice cutting through the morning air. No smile, no pleasantries, just authority. Cole blinked, stunned. Marry his daughter? He had barely seen the girl around town, had only heard whispers, shy, awkward, plain. This could not be serious. Cole's fingers brushed against his hat brim, a nervous tic he didn't often show. I don't even know her," he said cautiously, weighing each word. Hartley's glare didn't soften. "I don't care. My terms are clear. You want to stay on this land, you'll do as I say." He turned and motioned toward the mansion. The implication was unmistakable: refuse, and Cole's reputation, his livelihood, even his safety, could be at risk. So he made the decision. "I'll do it," he said quietly, surprising himself with the steadiness of his voice. Hartley gave a curt nod and walked away, leaving Cole to stare at the sprawling estate with a mixture of apprehension and disbelief. The days that followed were a blur. Wedding arrangements moved faster than Cole could process. There were fittings, measurements, discussions he barely understood, all while he tried not to think about the woman he was about to marry. He hadn't expected her to be striking, he had expected awkwardness, a timid bride. Yet, the veil hiding her face only added to the suspense and unease gnawing at him. Finally, the morning of the wedding arrived. The mansion hummed with activity, servants bustling about, townspeople gossiping quietly in corners, and Hartley watching every detail with the meticulous precision of a man accustomed to control. Cole's heart raced as he mounted the steps of the altar, the weight of the moment pressing down on him. He kept his gaze forward, unwilling to peek beneath the veil, bracing himself for disappointment, or at least a quiet, forgettable encounter. Then the moment came. Hands trembling slightly, Cole lifted the veil. And the world seemed to shift. The rumors, the warnings, all the stories he had believed, they were wrong. Completely, utterly wrong. The woman before him wasn't awkward or plain. She was radiant. Her eyes sparkled with intelligence and warmth, her smile gentle yet confident, her presence commanding in a way that stole the breath from him. For a suspended moment, the two of them simply stared at each other. Shock gave way to a strange, thrilling warmth in Cole's chest. The assumptions he had carried crumbled instantly. In that instant, he realized this marriage, forced, unexpected, and terrifying as it seemed, was nothing like he had feared. Something unexpected had begun, something that neither the warnings nor the rumors could have prepared him for. Cole barely had time to process the revelation of her beauty before old man Hartley cleared his throat, breaking the fragile bubble of awe. "She's my daughter. Respect her," he said sharply, as if reminding Cole of the power he still wielded over the situation. The bride, whose name he now learned was Lila, gave him a small, almost imperceptible nod, eyes filled with a mixture of fear and quiet strength. Cole realized immediately that she had lived her life under her father's shadow, always obedient, always careful not to provoke his wrath. The ceremony moved forward, each word from the preacher feeling heavier than the last. Cole tried to focus, to remember the vows, but his mind kept returning to Lila's face, her unexpected grace, the warmth behind her cautious smile. He had agreed to this marriage out of obligation, yet in that moment, a strange excitement mingled with the tension. He wondered if she, too, felt the spark that neither could deny despite the circumstances. After the ceremony, the small gathering dispersed into the reception room, the air thick with whispers and subtle glances. Hartley sat at the head of the table, his expression unreadable, watching Cole and Lila as if they were pieces on a chessboard he controlled completely. Lila stayed close, hands brushing against his as she accepted a toast, her touch light but intentional. Cole felt a jolt, realizing how little he truly knew about this woman, and how much he wanted to. Dinner was a quiet affair, punctuated by Hartley's occasional sharp comments, reminding everyone that appearances mattered above all else. Yet between the exchanges, Cole and Lila found moments of connection, a shared glance, a small laugh over a clumsy waiter, a whispered word of understanding when Hartley's gaze grew too heavy. He realized that her quiet demeanor was not weakness but patience, a strength forged under years of control. And for the first time, Cole felt a deep respect for the woman he had once believed would be merely a duty. Later that evening, when the guests had left, Hartley called Cole aside. "You think this marriage is easy?" he asked, his voice low and dangerous. "You think it's just about appearances?" Cole met his gaze steadily. "No, sir. I see her. I see who she really is." Hartley's eyes narrowed. "See that she respects you. Protect her, or you'll regret it." Cole nodded, understanding the weight of responsibility, not just to Lila, but to a man who had ruled his daughter's life with fear and authority. When he returned to the room, Lila was waiting, and for the first time, she spoke freely. "I thought you would be disappointed," she admitted softly. "I was wrong," Cole said, taking her hands in his. "You're extraordinary." Her eyes widened, and a smile broke across her face, genuine, radiant, and something he knew he would protect fiercely. In that moment, Cole understood that the forced marriage was only the beginning. Challenges lay ahead, Hartley's control, gossip from the town, and the unspoken rules of a world neither of them had chosen. Yet for the first time, he also understood something more powerful. Sometimes, the most shocking revelations aren't about appearances, they're about discovering strength, courage, and love in the least expected places.